Good day. Jimmy here, coming to you from where I'm at. I'm finding myself a little under the weather today, as they say, even though it's a beautiful day. The energy's a little low in me today, and I'm honoring that by just taking a moment to sit into my experience and acknowledge where I'm at with the intention to move through this feeling, but to also understand I am where I'm at and embracing that will help me move through it. I wanted to talk a little bit about empowerment today, authentic empowerment, and how it directly correlates to bringing forth our soul's energy. I think that many of us, might I say, the majority of us live in our personality, in our structured format that we were born into this society of what is wrong, what is right, what we must do, what we must not do, all these rules and regulations to belonging, to being in society. And much of this energy of the personality is not necessarily the eternal truth for our being. Because at the end of the day, we all are unique in our upbringing, in our, whatever is in us, what we came to this earth to bring, our soul mission, if you will, is varying. And so it will take different parameters to breathe forth that mission of yours, of mine on earth. And so one of the ways to get into that authentic empowerment of allowing your soul to breathe forth and not just living in your personality, in this persona that has been created for you and of yourself, to operate in this world. One way is to start connecting into your breath, to sit in silence, to see what arises, to see what calls to you. Do not just get lost in endless distraction that the world presents for us in every moment. I know there's plenty of social issues that call to us, that are beckoning for us to help, but it is to look into your heart and into your being and to see what resonates for you, to bring forth to this earth, because we are not all robots performing the same tasks and doing the same things, even though the society that we live in would love for us to be these automatons that, work every day, be a good person, and go to church, and don't sin, and make sure you pay your taxes, which are all fine, but there's more to life than that. And when you start digging into the depths of yourself and finding the passions, the creativity that is waiting to be birthed from you, this is when you begin to bring your soul mission to fruition. And it is not a journey for the lighthearted. It takes work, it takes effort, it takes challenge, it takes courage, it takes compassion for yourself, it takes letting go of other people's opinions of what they think is right and wrong for you. Because at the end of the day, if you're sitting in your heart, if you're true to yourself, your moral compass, your right and wrongs could be a lot different than somebody else's. And yes, there are certain things that we want to, have reverence for, and life obviously being one of them. Um, but you look at the many possibilities that happen in life. Think war, and like we are going, and killing other people. And how does that sit on a deep level of our soul? And yeah, that's a story for for a different day. But my point is that we put bullet points on how things need to be, and the reality is there's a whole sphere of experience that is outside of the bullet point that we may need to touch into that somebody else doesn't have to. So everybody's journey is unique, but we're all here to be present in our being, to get to know this deep-seated part of ourself, this authentic being. And part of that is by letting go of society's stronghold on your psyche, and to realize that you have all the power within you to be who you choose to be in this world. And a big part of that is taking the opinions of other people's out. And I'm not saying ignore people. You can hear what people have to say, but don't live your life by what they think needs to be, because they may just be listening to a story somebody else told them. So let's say the moral of the story is you're here to write your own story. Every day is a blank canvas to create who you want to be in this world, which can be challenging with the need to pay taxes, with the need to be kind all the time. Sometimes you gotta be fucking angry. Sometimes you gotta get mad. Sometimes you gotta shake and freaking rattle and just like, rah! You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta let go. And I'm saying, find safety in that letting go, and don't, put it on other people. But go with yourself out in nature and scream that freaking to the top of your lungs. Let it out. Let it be, because when we store all that shit inside, when we hold it so tight, it festers and boils, and it fucks with us, and it creates disease and all these other negative things that are not pleasant to sit with. And so the sooner we can face ourselves and get into ourselves and find this soul essence of our being, the better off we'll be. And we'll be living in the passion that is radiating forth in us once we remove the blocks that have been put on through a lifetime lived, through experiences endured, through traumas, through intense experiences, whatever they may be. Once we start sitting in ourselves and having compassion for ourselves and meeting these parts of ourselves that we've abandoned, when we reparent these parts, when we send them love, when we sit with them, when we see what they need, and then we can grow forth from those moments and be a richer being on this earth plane. And yeah, so that's what I got today. Yeah, just trying to breathe through my experience, which I am doing in this moment. And I'm wishing you all well. May you enjoy this beautiful day. Get out into nature. Scream at the top of your lungs if you want, or sit in complete silence. Listen to the bird chirps. Yeah. Be well. Much love to you. Jimmy. In.